We live in times where many men are lost, men who are tired, empty, disconnected from their purpose, men who learned to survive but forgot how to lead correctly. And while the world redefines what it means to be a man, God is still looking for men of integrity. Not perfect means present means firm means responsible with a character and the fear of God. Because a family can change when a man decides to take his place again. That is why today I want to talk to you about the men that God is looking for. Many men have abandoned their place without realizing it. They are still there physically, but emotionally they are gone. They disconnected from their home, their children, their wife, and themselves. And the problem does not start when a man leaves the house. It starts when he stops being involved, even while in the house, even while staying. There are men who arrive tired, lock themselves into their phones, their work, or their problems, and slowly disappear from their family's life. But God never called a man only to provide money. He also called him to spiritually care for his home. Your family needs your presence, your guidance, your love, your attention. Yes, they need all of that. Because when a man disconnects, the family feels it. And perhaps some children today do not need more gifts. They need more time with their father because time passes quickly, far too quickly. And many men discover sooner or later that they worked their whole lives for their family but barely lived any moments with them. Your children will not remember how much you worked. They will remember how you made them feel. They will remember if you played with them, if you listened to them, if you were present for their most important moments. No success outside compensates for a failure at home. And here another problem for many men appears. They confuse their identity with their work. They believe they are only worth what they produce. But listen to this. Your work is important, of course it is, but it is not your identity. You are not just a paycheck, you are not just exhaustion, you are not just responsibilities. Because when a man puts his whole identity into his work, he ends up empty when something goes wrong. God never said, your worth depends on how much you earn. Your worth comes from who you are before Him. Of course work, of course strive, of course grow, but do not last your soul trying to prove something. And do not see your family as a burden either, because there are men who speak poorly of their home as if it were a weight impossible to bear. Yes, there are responsibilities. Yes, there is exhaustion. Yes, there are difficult moments, but your family remains a blessing. One day you will look back and you will realize that those simple moments were more important. The dinners, the conversations, the laughter, the hugs, the small daily moments with family. Family is not a hindrance to your purpose. Often it is part of the purpose. Now there is something few men talk about, character, because many want to conquer the outside but do not know how to control themselves within. And a man also manages his character, the way you react, the way you speak, your patience, your anger, your words. All of that, absolutely all of that, reveals who you really are. A strong man is not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who knows how to control himself. Because anyone can explode, but not everyone can maintain self-control when they are tired, frustrated, or hurt. And God does not only look at your achievements, He also looks at your heart. And speaking of the heart, what is secret also matters. We live in a generation obsessed with appearances, but a man is not destroyed publicly overnight. First, he neglects himself in secret. Your habits matter, your thoughts matter, what you consume when no one sees you matters, because integrity is born in private. To be a person of integrity is to be the same person in public as you are in secret. And even though no one else sees certain struggles, God does see them. That is why true change begins within the heart. Now many men want leadership, but few understand what it really means to lead. Because being a man is not about commanding, it is about serving. The world teaches that leading is controlling. Jesus taught that leading is loving, caring, and serving. A mature man does not need to impose himself all the time. He knows how to listen, how to care, and how to sacrifice for others. And perhaps one of the greatest signs of maturity, do you know what it is? It is learning to serve without seeking recognition, because true leadership is born from humility and also from faithfulness. Many want great opportunities, but they neglect small responsibilities, punctuality, discipline, their worth, and consistency. But small decisions reveal the heart. A faithful man does not suddenly appear in great moments. He is formed every day. Where? In silence, in the simple, in the deep, in the everyday. And God honors the man who remains firm, even if no one applauds him. Now listen to this carefully. You cannot lead others if you do not first learn to lead yourself. There are men who want to change the world but cannot control their habits. Leadership begins with oneself. It begins when you decide to get up even without the desire, when you decide to organize your life, when you decide to leave habits that destroy you, when you decide to be consistent. Before leading a family, God works first on the heart of the man, and finally, there is a truth that no man should ever forget. One day we will give an account before God, not for appearances, not for the image we project, not for what people believed about us, but for how we truly lived, how we treated our family, what we did with our time, what we did with our hearts. And perhaps the most important question will not be how much we achieved, but who we have become. That is why you are still in time. You are still in time to realign yourself with God. You are still in time to reclaim your place. You are still in time to become the man your family needs. It needs men of integrity, present men, humble men, men with character, men who listen to God again. Because there are still homes waiting for a present man. There are still children waiting for guidance. There are still generations that can be restored. And perhaps the change does not start outside, perhaps it starts today. Where? Inside of you. May God bless you. And until the next video.